Good day, my friend. Welcome back to the Short Inspiration from ET podcast, a space where we slow down for a moment and talk honestly about life, about the questions we often keep to ourselves and the thoughts we quietly carry every day. In this episode, I want to invite you to pause, take a breath, and reflect on a very simple question, but one that carries a lot of weight. How do you know if you're really doing what you want in life? This isn't a question for people who have nothing going on. It's a question for those who are already doing something. You have a job, responsibilities, goals, yet there's still a part of you that feels like something is missing. If that sounds like you, if you've ever caught yourself asking, is this it? Or is this really how my life is going to be? Then this episode is for you. Let's talk about it, not as experts, but as fellow human beings still searching for clarity along the way. How do you know if you're really doing what you want in life? This question, it's not just a self-help quote. It's not something you answer with one sentence. This is the kind of question that suddenly shows up while you're stuck in traffic, while you're drinking coffee alone, or sometimes right before you fall asleep. And sometimes the question itself feels heavier than the answer, because you do have a job. You are doing something every day. You have routines, you have responsibilities. But there's a quiet part of you that keeps asking, is this it? Takeaway number 1. Happiness isn't always the first sign. A lot of us think, I'll know I'm doing what I love when I'm happy all the time. But honestly, life doesn't work that way. There are things you truly love that are hard, exhausting, frustrating, draining, and yet, even when you're tired, you still show up. Not because you're forced to, but because something inside you refuses to let go. If you're really doing what you want, it doesn't mean you're always inspired. It means even when you're tired, it still makes sense. Even when it's difficult, it still has meaning. Even when you want to quit, there's a voice inside saying, keep going. This matters. Takeaway number 2, there's fear, but there's excitement to another sign. There's a bit of fear. When you're doing what you truly want, you're often unsure. There's no clear roadmap, no guarantees. But alongside that fear, there's excitement, the kind that says, I don't know where this will lead, but I want to find out. I might fail, but I'm more afraid of not trying. If you're only doing something because it's safe, because it's expected, because it's what people say is right, there's usually no excitement, just anxiety. But when it's something you truly want, even with fear, there's a quiet smile somewhere inside. Takeaway number 3. You stop needing everyone's validation when you're doing what you truly want in life. You'll notice this. Not everyone will understand you. People will ask, are you sure about that? Is there money in that? How long are you going to do that? Isn't that a waste of time? And yes, sometimes that hurts. But when you're aligned with what you're doing, quiet confidence matters more than loud applause. You stop chasing approval because you feel an inner alignment between your mind, your heart, and your actions. Takeaway number 4, time disappears, but you don't. There are days when you're extremely busy, but you're not empty. When you're doing what you love, you lose track of time, you're focused. You're present. Are you tired? Yes, but you don't feel like you've lost yourself. If it's the opposite, you have time, but you feel disconnected from who you are, maybe that's not what you love. Maybe it's just what you're doing to survive. And those two are very different. Takeaway number 5. You'd still do it even if no one was watching. And this might be the most honest sign of all. If there were no audience, no praise, no likes, no money, at least for now, would you still do it? If the answer is yes, there's a big chance you're doing what you truly want. Because at that point, it's no longer a performance, it's no longer an image, it's no longer about validation. It becomes an expression of who you are. An important reminder, not everything you love has to be full-time right away. Sometimes it starts as a side project, a weekend passion, a quiet practice, a small beginning, and that's okay. You're not late, you're not behind, you're not lost. You might just be growing into it. Final reflection, if there's one takeaway I want to leave you with, it's this. You redoing what you truly want when you're more afraid of leaving it than failing at it. You may not know the ending, but you know it would be wrong to go back to the beginning without ever trying. And before we end, I just want to say thank you. to everyone who continues to support the Short Inspiration from ET podcast. If today's conversation resonated with you, if even one line made you pause and reflect, if this question is something you want to explore deeper, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Short Inspiration from ET podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and TikTok. To everyone who has liked, shared, and subscribed, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that support means, not just to this channel, but to the reason why I keep doing this. Until our next conversation, take care of yourself, and I hope, little by little, you move closer to the life you truly want to live.